good evening, folks. Welcome back to the farm. Today is the first day of fall, actually. And you know it. You know it. A week ago, it was like 27, 28, 20. We're crouching up there to 30 degrees Celsius. It was most definitely summertime. There was no doubt about it. And then, like the other day, something just went like that. The wind came along, and all the trees just immediately started changing color. Like they were changing color since July, don't get me wrong, but like they were like serious about it. And today I wore 2 sweaters to work. Actually, I wore 1 sweater to work, and then once I got there I had to have my office sweater and really put it on. It's strange, even in the house. It's like, I swear it's colder in the house right now than it is outside right now. Don't tell the wife I did this, but I tucked the kids into bed and I turned the furnace on. Yeah, I turned the furnace on today. I let it run for like half an hour just to get kind of the temperature up in the house to where it's a nice comfortable level. And then I just quickly went back and turned it off. Like nothing to see here. Nothing ever happened. I don't know why the house is this warm, honey. I have no idea. And I did my sneaky trick in the basement. I went and turned the in-floor heating on in the basement so we can start slowly acclimating the rest of the house up to temperature, because I don't think it'll be many more days and it's going to be cold. Reason for the season, I did call the man from Towfield today. Yesterday we sorted all, the ewes, the keeper ewes, the replacement ewes, the cull ewes, and the weather lambs and 1 ram. Split them all off. That was yesterday's big chore. So I called the man from Towfield there today and said, hey, we need a truck. Prices are still okay, I think they're respectable. But hopefully by the time we get a slot to the auction mart and we need a ride to the auction mart, prices are where they need to be so that, we can kind of basically pay for the hay that we're going to buy this year. I emptied a third of the swimming pool, basically just below the jets there, you can see. I emptied it down to that level. We're going to winterize the pool this year, and that's either going to save a pile of water somehow, or that thing's going to freeze solid because we got our mixture off, and we're absolutely going to ruin an expensive outdoor swimming pool. But lots of other people, I guess, keep them winterized. They just put antifreeze in there, and I don't know what you put in the spring. We'll have to figure that out too, to make it so it's not antifreeze, so it's not like it's just going to turn it bright green, like it's going to be just full of coolant. I'm not sure how that works, but water's expensive, but it's not that expensive. But it is a hassle to run to town and get all new water in the spring, so we'll give this a try. The big white dog's been good today, though. We've had, the yard's all full of sheep. You can hear him bellowing away there. He's been off all day, just kind of with the leash tied to him. He's loose in the yard. And he hasn't run the fence line. He hasn't barked at nobody. He's actually been a good boy today. Cows? I don't know what it is about cows, but he wants to put a run on the cows. That's not cool. But the sheep, he's been cool with the sheep. So that's all right. We come home from the cabin yesterday, though. We had a little project to work on there. We finished sheeting in the inside of the outdoor cookhouse with OSB. I pulled in the driveway, and right away I seen a miniature pony and a miniature donkey. And they're not hanging out in the round pad. We didn't put them there. They're supposed to live in the paddock behind the shop. Like they obviously jumped the fence. Like, how did they get there? And they must have been out down the road, and the neighbor from across the road come and locked them in the round pen for us. So that was good of her. Those 2 have been really the only big fence testers here in the last little while. And I would love it to just be, hey, you know what? Have at it. Go south. But that little pony, her hoofs get so stiff and sore and foundered up. It's not even fair. I don't know what to do. I need like 15 little paddocks that I can just rotate her through and control the diet, because if you just kick her loose in there, she'd be 4 days in there and she'd be walking like she's got wooden legs. It wouldn't be fun for anybody. Anyways, I don't know if I mentioned it the other day, but the wife's been making salsa. So we were dumping out a bunch of old canning, like old pickled carrots and old jams and jellies and stuff from like 5 years ago. Stuff that should have been eaten first, and well, we probably sampled the newer stuff. And anyway, so some stuff got to the back of the shelves, and the wife needed jars, so she's making this year's salsa. And she's been using these onions that I grew in the raised garden beds here. So back in the spring, I got in our loop load, I got some spring onions, those green onions that you dice up and you put in like stir fries and like Asian salads and things like that. And I thought, what the heck? I'm going to plant a bunch of them. I planted a bunch of them in the garden here. I got one sitting over here. Like, they're just massive, right? So she diced up a bunch of these with her tomatoes out of the greenhouse. She had to find some peppers from somewhere else because our peppers they didn't do so well this year. But yeah, she made like, I want to say like 30 jars of salsa. So that's pretty wicked. Now I just need to find some nachos. Anyway, speaking of the wife, I think that's her headlights coming up there. She's probably just coming home from the 4-H meeting. So I'm going to go inside and put the kettle on. So I'll let you go for now. I hope you have a fantastic evening. We'll see you tomorrow.